welcome back to the StatifyMMA podcast. This is episode 5, and today I'm joined by my co host Z to discuss UFC 322 Makhachev versus De La Maddalena. So, of course, this is a card that has two title fights on it. We have Islam Makhachev going up in weight from the lightweight division to the welterweight division to take on JDM, who's the new welterweight king in the UFC. But we also have another title fight, which is Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Weili. So two title fights on this card. Lots of stuff to talk about. But first of all, we want to get into the prelims, right? So we'll start from the prelims and then we'll work our way all the way up to the top. So on the prelims, first of all, first fight, Malcolm Wellmaker versus Cody Haddon. I'm sure you have a lot to
Oof.
say about Malcolm Wellmaker's
Oof.
knee.
Man, it's just like I like the unique striking setups. It's just like what was the last knockout where he stepped forward like he was just trying to move forward and just threw that hook and knocked out the guy. That was just impressive stuff, to be honest. But like, I'm just keen to see what else he has in his toolbox. To be honest, this Cody guy, I'm not really sure. I haven't watched him much, but I think it's a pretty fair fight because it's 10-0 and 8-1, which is like pretty close records, to be honest. But I'm excited to see it. Like as a prelim fight, this is brilliant stuff because like this could be on the main card with the hype behind this guy, Malcolm. To be honest, but what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, Malcolm is on a tear right now. Two
Mm,
knockouts in the UFC. First against Cameron Simon, who is a pretty good prospect. Knocked him out in the first round.
mm,
His power, for the division is just like scary. Like he hits guys and then they
mm.
just get finished. And his last knockout against Moutinho is somebody that Sean O'Malley could not finish. If you remember that
Mm.
fight, Sean O'Malley was lighting him up, switching stances, you know, hitting him right in the chin, and still
Yeah,
O'Malley was not able to finish him. And this guy just,
yeah,
slept him with a right hook. He just, just
yeah.
threw that right hook
Yeah,
and
I
slept him
mean,
with it.
like for me, it's like it's not even like with that fight that was Sean O'Malley. What really frustrated me was that Sean O'Malley was just trying to throw haymakers, something that the actual opponent could see. Whereas this guy set it up in a way where he didn't see it coming, and next minute he was on the floor dead. And so I'm not saying he's better than Sean O'Malley, but if we were to compare the two fights, it just shows more of a fight IQ in comparison to Sean O'Malley. Of course, Sean O'Malley has achieved way more than he has yet, but at his age, to be honest, he has reached his prime. I'm talking about Malcolm, but how old is Sean O'Malley? To be honest, I feel like Sean O'Malley might be younger than this guy.
Yeah, I think O'Malley is. We can just confirm right now, but I don't think Sean O'Malley is that old. I think
He's
he's
not. How
either
old is
in
Sean O'Malley?
his 30s. Let's see.
He's 31. They're the same age.
Yeah, yeah, same age, same age. Yeah, and actually,
Wow.
speaking on that, Cody Haddon, he's also a finisher. 5 wins by KO, 2 wins by submission. He only has one win by decision, and his only loss is also by decision. So I feel like
Mm.
this is gonna be a banger. He has had, I believe, 2 fights right now in the UFC. He was actually supposed to fight Alexander Topuria, Ilya Topuria's brother, in February of this year, but the fight ended up
No.
getting canceled. Yeah, yeah. So he has one rear naked choke in the UFC. His
Yeah.
last fight was against Darn Argueta. He had a decision. So
Yeah.
I think definitely just because we don't know too much about this Cody Haddon guy, he seems like he's special. Only one loss, 8 wins. I believe he's on a win streak right now. His last loss was in 2021. So it's been a
Mm.
while since he's lost. Oh, and his last
Mm.
loss was actually to Steve Erceg. Very interesting. Very,
Wow.
very interesting. So this is actually a very, very good fight because Steve Erceg is a very good fighter. Fought for the title before.
Mm.
He's in a bit of a rough place right now, but that being this guy's only loss,
Loss?
right? Like, yeah, there's no shame in losing to Erceg, and it was by decision.
Yeah.
He didn't get finished. So this actually is rolling up to be a very good fight. I feel like I have Wellmaker just because his power in this division
Mm.
seems, it seems
It's
otherworldly.
scary.
Like I'm just looking at his record right now. Chris Moutinho, right hook. Cameron Simon, counter right hook. Adam Bramhall, right hook. Chase Barwell, KO TKO. You know, Justin Hughes, KO TKO. Like Langston Sykes, left hook, and he
That's
also seems to be a good grappler because he has a couple rear naked choke finishes in here,
mm,
right? Like that right hook is 100% a problem,
yeah.
and yeah, I'm very interested to see how this fight goes on. So I have, of course, Malcolm
Wow.
Bowmaker. I feel like the UFC is also trying to build him now because that last knockout over Chris Moutinho, it
Mm,
kind of went viral a bit. You know, he got some more
yeah.
followers. I think he also
Yeah.
quit his job. He was a plumber. He quit his job to pursue
Wow.
MMA full time. So now that he's gonna be fully focused on this, like he already was scary. So imagine him now. You know, he's not focused on a job. He's just training MMA full time because he got the performance bonus, I believe, and he also used that. Like very nice guy because he said he used that to buy his mama house. So he bought his mama house.
Wow.
Now you know he's
That's some two-pack type shit, you know?
yeah. And he's also fully focused on MMA now. So it seems like I feel like he's going to be much better, and he's definitely going to be a problem in this division. So do you have any more to say about this fight, or you want us to move to the next
I
one?
think I'm excited to see how he. I think this might be a step up in competition, so I'm excited to see how he actually handles himself, or if he gets a knockout straight, or if it's gonna be easy for him. If he gets a knockout straight, then bruh, we gotta increase that competition. You gotta fight someone in it who's ranked at least at that age. You know, you gotta move at a faster pace. You know, just like Izzy Adesanya, to be honest. Like when he went into the UFC, like he was like 30 in those 30, 31 type age, and he had to move at a faster pace and prove himself faster. You know, it's sort of there's
Yeah,
a that's like the con or the pro, sorry, of being an older fighter is that you have to actually go out there and fight so that Dana White doesn't be like, oh, you're too old, you can't be fighting for the title at this age, you're not going to be able to defend or have a legacy that is as good as like Anderson Silva or John Jones or anything like that, because those guys that started at a younger age at the UFC, you know what I mean? So I think if it's a dangerous age, but it's also a good thing because it's like the more you do, the better you do, the more you want to go up there in ranks and fight higher ranks. You know, he's not gonna be wanting to fight someone who's just, you know, just entered the UFC. He wants to prove himself. So I think the UFC wants to push this Malcolm guy to be one of the stars of the UFC. But yeah, I think we'll go to the next spot, to the next fight. To be honest.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. He has
Yeah.
the knockout power. He
Yeah.
kind of has the look as well. Um, we haven't seen too much from him in terms of personality,
Mm.
but you know, I feel like if he gets a couple more knockouts, you know, like we've seen some fighters where it's like, you know, they have insane knockout power, they have insane finishing ability. They're not the best on the mic, but as they get, you know, the more finishes, as they get, the more knockouts, we start to see the personality come out. One good example is
Yeah.
Topuria, right? Like he's always
Mm.
been a finisher, but I feel like people were not really paying attention to him. He was a bit more soft spoken until you
Mm.
know he started, you know, talking that ish as you will, and then people started
Mm.
taking note. So
Mm. Even
and
Alex
then
Pereira as well. Alex
yeah. I
Pereira,
mean, he still doesn't speak English.
yeah, he said, "I'm too shy to speak English." What do you mean you're too shy? You know, you're too shy to make some money. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely
Not
understand.
that he doesn't have money, but you know, he could have more.
Yeah. But he's also a very good example of
Yeah.
you know fighters who like are able to just transcend. Even I mean, Canelo for the longest time did not speak any English at all, and he was like
Mm.
the like you know, other than Money Mayweather, he was like the highest paid boxer for a very
Mm.
long time. He just started learning English now, you know, towards the later end
Mm.
of his career. But I think it's actually something nice to see is that now I think maybe not just in combat sports, but globally worldwide, you don't necessarily have to speak English to become a huge star. Now, I mean,
Mm.
the Dagestanis, they still they speak English, right? But it's not you know
Yeah.
straight English, and I feel like fans even love that a bit more of like
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
being true
Yeah.
to their culture, being true to themselves. Charles
Mm.
Oliveira still doesn't speak English, right? Like we all love him. So yeah, it's very interesting to see, and I feel like
Yeah.
it's going to allow a lot more very skilled fighters, right? Like not
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
that border anymore or that blocker anymore. That it's like, okay, to become a big star, you have to speak English. I feel like it would be
Mm.
very nice if we could have some of these fighters coming from the more regional areas of the world, like Brazil, like Russia, like Dagestan. Of course,
Mm.
Dagestan is in Russia. Maybe some of the
Mm.
fighters from, because we're seeing a lot more come from Japan now, right? From that
Mm.
area. Like Kaya Sakura, he doesn't necessarily speak the best English, but I don't want that to be part of the reason why their star power is dampened or limited,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
I feel like we should definitely have a system where it's like, even if you don't speak English, right, your fights speak for themselves. And I think some fighters are starting to prove that, like Charles, like Pereira, the Dagestanis, like kind of did that too. It's like, what talks are these fists? Let these fists do the talking. Or in Alex's situation, like let his left hook do the talking. Yeah. So just
Mm.
speaking of age in fights, we have a fighter who's fairly on the young side, who's in the next bout after that one we have Erin Blanchfield, who's still 26 years old, very very,
Mm.
I would say, young in terms of
Mm.
MMA competition, but she has had a very very good career so far. So she's
Yeah.
fighting Tracy Cortez, who she has previously lost to in
Mm.
2019, right? So
Mm.
they fought in Invicta in 2019, and yeah, she ended up losing to Tracy that time. She was much much younger, and now this is
Mm-hmm.
kind of like a rematch in the UFC. If you know, I believe before her fight with Manon Fiorot, Blanchfield was undefeated in the UFC. She had a crazy long win streak. She was able to use her grappling to submit Jessica Andrade, Shikimura, Molly McCann,
She is.
standing guillotine choke on JJ Aldrich. She beat up Miranda Maverick. Sarah Simmons, she got a unanimous decision. So she was just on a tear, right? But
Mm.
then
Mm.
I think in that fight with Manon Fiorot, Manon's physicality just was too much. If you remember that fight, she kept
Mm.
trying her best to get in, but Manon, she's a kickboxer and she's kind of long for that division.
Mm. Mm. Mm.
Blanchfield is not the tallest fighter. She stands about 5'4" with a 68-inch range. So I
Yeah.
mean, credit to her. She kept fighting to the end, but she just could not seem to be able to cover the distance in that fight.
Mm. Mm.
And yeah, I think her last fight against Rose really showed a lot of improvements, right? Like
Yeah.
she just was a dog in that fight. And I think we might see that coming into Dick's Nest fight with Tracy Cortez. They fought each
Tracy
other before,
Cortez.
right? They're both coming off of wins, so Erin is coming off a win over Rose. Tracy is coming off a win over Viviana Araujo. Right before that, she lost to Rose, which is actually kind of interesting. But we know MMA math never works.
Never
But
works.
yeah, I feel like in this fight, I feel like I'm gonna pick Erin, just because age is on her
Yeah.
side. I mean,
Uh,
Tracy
and-
Cortez is 31 years old, right?
yeah. Well, I mean, Tracy Cortez is technically going into her prime, and prime in fighting years is only 31 to 34, and then you're out. Like, but I think I agree with the Erin, sorry, because of the just how much she's been fighting in comparison to Cortez.
Yeah,
Cortez only has been fighting once a year. And she's been fighting like once, twice, three times a year, which is brilliant. Just being active. Whereas Cortez always has to deal with ring rust every time she comes to fight for the last 4 years. So I think someone like Aaron, is it Aaron?
yeah, Erin Blanchfield.
Aaron, Aaron Blanchfield, she has been putting in the work and fighting under the lights a lot more than
Yeah, she's
Tracy
been hustling.
Cortez. And yeah, she's been hustling and putting in the work. And like, she even has beaten better competition than Tracy Cortez, even though Tracy Cortez has beaten her before in the past, you
Yeah,
know? So I think she has something to fight for in this fight. Whereas Tracy, I think she's been busy doing media stuff, and she's very popular because of her looks and all that stuff, obviously. But it's just like, how much has she been training and how much work has she been putting in? Because time is not on her side right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Erin is
Yeah,
26 years old. You know,
yeah,
beating Rose Namajunas is a huge,
crazy,
huge win, right? And
crazy.
even in that fight against Manon Fiorot, right? She did lose, but I don't think she got discouraged because
Mm.
she was just outraged. Like she was getting to Manon at times, but it's like Manon just played the safe game of let me just teep, let me just throw straight shots, let me get
Mm.
out of the way, let me do this, let me do that. So it was a thing of Blanchfield was trying her best, and of course she's not primarily a striker; she's more a grappler. So it was very
Mm.
very hard for her to close that distance, put the hands on Manon Firo, and like grapple her to the ground. Meanwhile, I
Mm.
feel like her grappling is definitely much like better. I would say compared to Tracy Cortez, at least at this time. And yeah, that's why I think I'm
Mm.
gonna pick her, to win over
Tracy
Tracy.
Cortez.
I'm gonna pick
Mm.
Erin. Yeah,
Yeah, I
and then
agree. I agree.
mhm,
I agree. Damn.
yeah, amazing, amazing. And then next we have a very very interesting fight in
Oof.
the middleweight division. So we have
Oof.
Roman Kopylov versus
Oof.
Gregory Rodriguez.
I just want to say I'm excited for this card. I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah. This
This is a
is a
sleeper card.
fight. Yeah, yeah. This is a sleeper. Like there's actually bangers
Oh
back
my
to back. Now,
god.
now Roman Kopylov, we were excited for him in his last fight. He did
Yeah.
not perform the best against Costa. Before that, he had been cooking.
He's been
Knocked out
cooking.
Chris Curtis. In the third round, like literally with a minute left.
My
Beat
god.
Cesar Almeida, like who is a very, very good striker. I mean, he did lose to Anthony Hernandez, but now we're seeing with Hernandez, beating
Mm.
Dolice the way he did, that he's just a problem in the middleweight division. But
Literally.
like other than the Costa fight, right? Kopylov has been on a good run. I don't know what happened in the Costa fight. It seemed like he was just out of it because like Costa was kind of on a downtrend,
Mm.
and Kopylov was on like an upward trajectory. So it was just strange. And I mean, I don't think anything ever came out with him because usually what fighters will say is when something like that happens is, oh, I was sick. I got the new thing now is like the norovirus. Everyone's getting norovirus. That's the reason why you know they're not really performing the best. But yeah, like he was on a very very good turn. So it's like that fight against Costa. I don't know what exactly happened, but if he shows up like that if he shows up the way he showed up against Paulo Costa, he's getting knocked out. He's getting knocked out because
Robocop is not giving him an inch to
yeah,
fight like Paulo
RoboCop
Costa did.
does not take prisoners. Like RoboCop is gonna be killed. Like
He is a mean
granted,
man in there.
like what he did to Jack Hermanson, oh my
Oh
god,
my
bro.
god.
He just sent him to the shadow realm. Now, like he had been on a very, very good win streak and like in in the
Mm.
UFC, he's had a very, very interesting kind of trajectory because he looks like he should not be a middleweight. Like he borderline looks like a heavyweight. He's huge. In that fight
Yes.
against Cannonier, right? He was towering over him. Now, granted,
Mm.
Cannonier did win that fight, but he damn near knocked out Cannonier like 3 times in the first 2 rounds.
Literally,
He
literally.
dropped him in the first round and dropped him like
Oh
twice in the
my
second round.
god.
It turned out being a case of him almost gassing out, right, in
Mm.
the fourth rounds. Like Cannonier almost knocked him out in the third round, and I believe at the start of the fourth round he just took it to him and then just finished him. But other than that, right, he's just been demolishing people. Jack Manson, first round, just slept him. You know, Brad Tavares, finished Brad Tavares, who is very, very hard to finish.
Very.
Dennis
Yes.
Tululin, elbows from back mount, first round. Like, um, he is a very, very difficult person to
To deal
finish
with.
and
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
handle. I mean,
Yeah.
even that fight
Yeah.
against Chidi Njokuani, if you remember, when Chidi hit him with the knee and he had the
Yeah.
third eye in the middle of his head, and he came back to knock out Chidi in
In the
that
second
round.
round.
So I am very worried for Roman Kopylov in this fight. Now, granted, if he does pull it off, it's going to be an insane win, especially with how we looked against Costa, because Costa has been on a downtrend. So we were expecting Kopylov to just go in there and style on Costa, but it was the other way around. Costa just went in there, took it to him, was light in the body kicks. Like Kopylov had
Mm.
a few moments, but he allowed Costa to kind of dictate. to dictate the pace of the fight
I, f-
mostly,
I
right?
feel like there was moments where Kopolov could have actually done something, but the thing is, something was stopping of him. I'm not sure if he was scared of the power coming from Paulo Costa. I feel like if he pushed the pace a little bit more at some points of the fight, he could have won the fight easily. And it's not that I'm saying, oh, go out there and knock out Paulo Costa, because that's an impossible task. Only our Lord and Savior Izzy can do that. You know, but Kopolov, I think he could have, like, with the striking and all this training he's been doing all his life, he has the tools to keep the distance and just pop, you know, ping the cunt, as the champion of this, the main card is, would say, just ping him and walk around, you know, keep the distance, you know. It might not be easier said than done, but I think that with Paulo Costa, this is a possibility that he could have done. He could have done that, but I don't know what happened to him. He should not show up even 1 ounce of what he was like with Paulo Costa against the Robocop, because the Robocop,
He's knocking him out immediately. He's not
he's knocking
even.
you out.
I mean, I feel like, especially after that Cannonier fight, because he had Cannonier dead to rights in the first
Yeah.
couple rounds, right? And like now, I feel like he. I mean, of course, after that, everybody was like, okay, Robocop needs to go work on his cardio. But
Mm.
if he knocks you out in the first round, he does not have to work on his cardio. The problem is that Cannonier is just extremely durable, extremely hard to finish,
Yes.
right? Like
Yes.
he's very hard to finish. So it was just a situation where Robocop kind of just overcommitted in the first 2 rounds. But like
Mm.
pretty much anyone else in the middleweight division, right? Like
Mm.
first round Robocop, you have to be on your A game. You cannot be the way Roman Kopylov was against Costa and expect to survive those first few rounds. So, um, you know, seeing as that is just based on the trajectory of their careers right now, I'm gonna go Gregory Rodriguez. I feel like we're probably going to have a, if not a knockout, right? We're gonna have a dominant decision win because it's not a 5 rounder. That's also the thing about the fight with
Paulo
with
Costa.
no the one with RoboCop and
Yeah.
Cannonier is, I believe, that was maybe his first 5 round
Five.
fight. So if that
Yeah.
fight was 3 rounds, he might have won it. I mean, he got
Mm.
10-8 in the third round, but it would have essentially been maybe a draw or
Did he?
something.
Because he knocked him down in the first row. First, didn't
Yeah,
he?
he knocked him down, I
Yeah.
think, one time in the first round. Then he knocked him down
Mm.
like 2 times in the second round. So I think he won those first 2 rounds. But then third round, fourth round, Cannonier kind of took over and knocked him out. But like if that fight had been a 3 round fight, I feel like Cannonier would maybe have drawn or have lost it,
Mm.
because he won the third round. I'm not sure if it's a 10-8, but he damn near knocked him out. But yeah, like it's not on Roman Kopylov's side because this is a 3 round fight. So like you
Yeah.
know like the
Fast pace.
odds
Fast
of,
pace.
yeah, if he doesn't get
It
knocked
gotta
down
be
in the
fast
first
pace.
round, he's going to get hurt very bad. And then Robocop still has the cardio to go to a second round. Like we've seen, it's
Literally.
at the fourth, fifth rounds. I think he starts to slow down. So I've got Robocop in this one, Gregory Rodriguez. I've got him by a unanimous decision because I feel like Kopylov is that good of a striker where he can, at least avoid
The
getting
power
knocked out,
strikes.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's probably
Yeah.
gonna get hurt, but I feel
Yeah.
like he's gonna be able to avoid getting knocked out. But if he gets knocked out in the first round, I would not be surprised. Okay, what do you think?
Man, Kopolov, I don't think it, because he hasn't been knocked out yet. From what I know, I don't think Kopolov will get knocked out. But I think there is a there is a possibility of him being submitted by RoboCop. To be honest, you know what I mean. Like I feel like RoboCop might knock him down and then or take him down or something. Because I don't think his wrestling game is as good as RoboCop's. To be honest, so I'm going RoboCop by uh, popping his head off by rear net, rear naked choke.
I mean, yeah, definitely, definitely. I have
Yeah, yeah,
zero qualms about that. So
yeah.
we're both picking RoboCop to win. And yeah, if we go next, we have our boy, actually not our boy, but the boy, Bo Nickel, returning again, fighting against Rodolfo Vieira. Now, seeing him
Oh
after that fight with Reiner de Ritter, it's gonna be hard for him to gain his hype back, I feel like this is kind
Yeah.
of the UFC giving him a bit of a layup, but
Mm, mm,
I have a worry that I feel like this might. I have a bad feeling about this fight because I feel like after the fight against RDR, right? Like everyone was expecting Bo Nickel to win.
mm, mm,
Now,
mm.
in hindsight, we don't really blame him that much because RDR did beat Whitaker. He was a two division champ in one, right? And Bo Nickel is relatively new in his MMA career, but it's like RDR is a grappler, right? He's not necessarily a striker. And he was able to
Mm.
knock out Bo Nickel. Now, Adolfo Vieira, right? He has extremely good jiu-jitsu, right?
Mm.
He has extremely good jiu-jitsu, right? I feel like if we look over his yeah, I mean, he submitted Derek Brunson, submitted Armin Petrosian, he submitted Cody Brundage. Most of his wins, of course, are by submission, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Bo Nickel, when he fights somebody that has good grappling, it ends up being like a stalemate on the feet, and his hands are
Yeah.
not the best.
Oh,
Now, I'm not
oh,
saying Hodolfo's are
oh,
better.
oh.
I'm not saying Hodolfo's are better, but the problem with Bonica is I'm not sure how much he's willing to improve. Because the thing is, I feel like he feels like he's such a good wrestler that he doesn't need any points, and I feel
Yeah.
like that might be his downfall. So I
Yeah.
know the UFC is
Yeah.
trying to give him a layup, like okay, he lost one, but let's just give him a fighter, that he can, kind of. I mean, I don't want to say anything
I
bad
just want to
about
say this.
fighters.
This is Boy Nickel has been fed so many bad fighters. So many. Like I know Dana might be saying, "Oh, you think we don't? You think we're not trying to make him challenged or get someone who's actually challenged?" But if you're getting knocked out by someone whose speciality isn't striking, come on. Like you gotta go out there and actually try and prove these things. You know what I mean? I'll give the example of John Jones. Like if you look at those first initial John Jones fight, his striking was horrific in comparison to what it is now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Boy Nickel does not want to improve on those things. Like even Khabib, his striking got so much better at the end of his fucking career. He fucking knocked down Conor McGregor. I mean, come on. But Boy Nickel thinks, oh no, wrestling is the way, man. Wrestling is the way. This is MMA, not fucking BJJ or wrestling. You're gonna get knocked out. And you know what happened? He got knocked out. Would I say I'm satisfied? Yes, because nigga, you've learned your lesson.
I mean,
You gotta go
the
out
thing
there and
is,
learn the martial
yeah.
arts. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting because it's like we see those fighters who will have like a loss, and then that will make them kind of, go back to the drawing board, fix things, try to like sort things out, maybe become better. I mean, we've seen so many examples of this. Like Pereira, his first loss when Izzy knocked him out, he started
Mm,
being a bit more cautious, and then just like, okay, even when I have someone hurt, kind of just back away a bit, like not just put
mm,
everything to the fire, right? Like Dustin, um, I think he had two losses that were very pivotal, right? Like the Korean Zombie loss and the
mm,
Conor McGregor loss, right? Like he used to just be a swang and bang type of fighter, but then those losses made him like work more on his boxing,
mm.
kind of just work on his head movement, and then he ended up being one of the best boxers in the UFC of all time. Even what's his name, Gaethje, right? Gaethje just used to be a
Mm.
car crash of one of us is getting knocked out, and of course luckily for him, for I think the first 19 or was it 20 fights of his career, he won all by knockout. He just kept knocking people
Mm.
out until he ran into Eddie Alvarez, who was able to weather the storm and knock him out. And then he also fought Dustin as well. And then we saw after that he started to have a more measured approach, which was in the Tony fight. He started to not
Mm.
just throw everything in every single shot. Like he started, like of course, also working with Trevor Whitman, which is him admitting like, okay, my brawling style, it's good, it's carried me so far, but I need to kind of improve. I'm not sure if we're seeing that from Bo Nickel, right? Because I think even I've seen some clips where he will go on podcasts and still say, "Oh, people are hating on him. He's still gonna be the best. He's still gonna be this." I mean, that's totally fine because I feel like you do need a level of delusion to be a professional fighter. Like
Mm.
you're going into the cage with another grown man, and one of you is throwing fists, and the goal is like to separate the other person from consciousness. So you have to at
Yeah.
least have that kind of belief in yourself. But I
Yeah.
hope that deep down in himself, he does believe like, okay, there's still stuff I can learn because the middleweight division is not going to be kind to him. Like I'm just think like we have crazy athletes and specialists in this division. Fighting against somebody like Hamzat, like Drikas, like Strickland,
Oh,
like Imavov, like
oh Lord,
Hernandez,
jeez.
like even
Like the
even
thing is,
Brendan Allen, even Caio Borralho. I mean, he
like the
already
thing is,
fought RDR, and we saw what happened.
like for me to see like a young prospect, I gotta imagine you somewhat finding a way to win these fights. Like when Izzy was coming up, I was like, yeah, there is a potential he could beat Robert Whitaker. But with Bo Nickel, I just see him getting slumped and beating the shit out, getting his shit beaten by Hamza. Fucking even fucking what's his name? What's the Italian dude? What's his name? What's his name? He fought Izzy and it was like, oh, Izzy, you didn't beat me. What's his name?
Vittori.
But I don't even see him beating Vittori.
Yeah.
That's how bad I think his striking is. Because the thing is, like, someone with Vittori, you can't knock him out because his chin is too good. Like his wrestling is probably at the same level as Bo Nickel as it is MMA wise. You know what I mean? So I think Bo Nickel, this is the fight that he has to show some sort of improvement or evolvement out of his last fight. Because the thing is, if he loses his fight, what's next for him? We don't know. He could lose a job. He could be sent to the Shadow Realm. But Dana White, Dana White been doing
Yeah.
that to a couple fighters, and even those
Yeah.
that even win big getting kicked out, starting to fight for Joan Jones' new fucking
Yeah.
fighting league.
Yeah. I do feel like they might have miscalculated in this because they gave
Yeah.
him an ADCC champion, I believe
Oh
Rodolfo Vieira
my
is.
god.
So, like, what happens now if Bonucci does take him down? What's the chance that he doesn't, get? I mean, his nickname is literally the Black Belt Hunter. That's
Oh
Rodolfo
my
Vieira's nickname.
god.
It's literally the Black Belt Hunter. So it's
Wow.
Bo Nickel does best in the wrestling. What happens if he takes him down? Then he has to deal with him on the ground. I feel like they should have fed him like a striker. Somebody who
Yeah.
maybe doesn't have the best
Yeah.
grappling. Bo Nickel can just bum rush him in the first round, take him down, maybe try to submit him. And that's one thing with Bo Nickel too. His submissions are not really clean, right? Like he
Nah.
seems to kind of like he doesn't really like man, I know he's new, and these things come with experience, and of course there's the lights and everything. But he's kind of like jittery when it comes to submissions. Like he'll be trying to put in a submission, and he's like slipping and he's like slipping and sliding all over the place. And it's like,
Pause.
bro, okay,
Hey, bro.
maybe with these unranked guys that's fine, but bro, you're not submitting Marvin Vettori like that. Like you're not submitting Robert Whitaker. You're not submitting Borhalia like that. Like
Whoa, did you just say something nice about Robert Rica? Oh my god. How things change.
He's not
Oh
submitting
wow.
Robert Whitaker like that. I mean, I mean, I might partake in my fair share of Robert Whitaker slander, but I feel like he is not beating Rob Whitaker right now. Like that's one thing I will give Rob. But yeah, I think
Nah, no way.
I feel like let's see what the odds are. So Bonico is actually a favorite. For some reason, I don't know why I don't see it that way, but I'll go with Rodolfo Vieira
I,
by by second
Yo,
round submission.
I don't. People. I'm picking the same person. I promise you. I am not copying this guy. Next pick, I'll
I,
pick first.
I'm picking Rodolfo Vieira by second round submission. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. I mean, I would love for
Yeah.
Bonico to prove me wrong. I would love for him to prove me wrong, and then his hype carries on. I would love for it, but I just don't see it happening. And then moving on to the main card of the evening,
No, no.
first
Before
fight.
we move on, I have a
Okay,
question for you. What
okay.
the state of the middleweight division? Hamzat's won the title, right? Like, what's next? Like, cause I feel like there's so many people beating each other. Like, I
Yeah,
can't see anyone beating Hamzat, to be honest. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Maybe Izzy, the Lord and Savior, but
But he needs a win. He needs a
but he just
win.
needs a win. But I feel like that's more difficult than said. Like I don't
Yeah,
know if
these
he still's got
middleweights.
that. Yeah,
I I don't know what happened, but middleweight was so stagnant,
Good.
and then something just happened. Everyone just started getting good. Like even like everyone just started getting good, and it's like, bro, Whitaker is ranked number 9. That is crazy. For so long,
Insane.
Whitaker was consistently in the top 5. And even his number 9 ranking, I'm not even gonna like. This is not some Whitaker hate, but
Nah,
it's
you
like
no,
even
no,
his
no,
number
no,
9
no,
ranking,
no,
I feel like
no,
he
no,
should
no,
be.
no.
Come on, bro.
To
He's
those
ranked
listening,
higher than
can you
MVP.
guys believe what Godzilla is
Can
saying
you
right now?
seriously
This is
tell me that
crazy.
Robert
This is
Whitaker is
crazy.
beating
This is
Michael Venom
crazy.
Page in an MMA
This
fight
is
in
crazy.
2025?
Yes,
Convince me.
I think it's
No!
possible. I think it's absolutely possible.
He's getting knocked out. He's
What?
getting fucking
Excuse
highlight
me.
reeled. He's getting he's double
I do
spinning elbow
not
KO'd,
accept
emoted on.
double spin dances.
Yeah, yeah.
I do not
Bro, come
stand
on.
for this Bobby
Whitaker
Knuckle
is getting
slander
put on
from
a
this guy.
t-shirt. Whitaker is getting
Godzilla,
put on a t-shirt.
you have lost
One
your damn
hundred
mind, boy.
percent. One
That's
hundred percent.
insane.
He fights Michael Venom Page. He's getting put on the t-shirt. Come on,
Oh
you have
my
to admit it. You
damn.
have to. You have to admit it. It's
You know,
just the truth.
it's more acceptable than you saying that he should go and fight Jake Paul because that's better competition, and you
No,
saying
no, I
I
did.
think he
I
might
never
get
said
knocked
that.
out by Jake
I
Paul. Well, you
never
did
said
say,
that. I
you
never
did,
said
you did say.
he's better competition. All I said was, I feel like Jake Paul's chances of knocking out Robert Whitaker in a boxing match are extremely high. I
That's
don't know
crazy.
why. I just see Robert Whitaker eating a fucking right hand, and then he starts to do,
Oh my god.
the patented Whitaker dance, right? Bro, he gets hurt in every fight, and then of
But the
course,
thing
like his
is,
grappling
but the
helps
thing
him.
is, he
But
always comes
you know,
back though. He got hurt in that fight
no, no, no.
with Paulo
But the
Costa.
thing is,
Came
like,
back and whooped
here's
Paulo
what's gonna
Costa.
happen. Jake Paul is gonna land a right hand, right? Whitaker is gonna be on skates. Maybe he'll go down. There's gonna be like a 10 count. He's gonna get up,
Uh,
and you know what happens again? Jake Paul is gonna bum rush him and sleep him. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
let's move
sorry, but
on. I
it's just
can't. I can't. It hurts me.
wait.
It hurts my
Wait.
feelings.
Let's okay. Let's try to be fair, right? Like I was saying that okay, Whitaker number 9, but you have to at least be honest. Whitaker is not beating MVP in 2025, bro.
MVP. No, 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 no. I'm not saying he's not. He's gonna beat the shit out of MVP, but I don't think it's a fight where you're like, oh, straight away MVP is gonna knock him out. Because I
No, no,
think
he's
that
getting
this,
knocked out.
like Styles make fights. You know, Michael Venom Page. I don't think is okay. I can't say he's not as good as everyone says he's. I think he's great. I think his style is great, but I think that they have such similar styles. Like Mark Page does the jumping and testing the distance out, whereas Robert Whitaker does the same similar thing where he sort of pops in and hops in and pops out like the in and
Yeah,
out
yeah.
kind of thing.
And
So
then
so I'm just
guess
saying
who's
like the
faster?
styles are similar.
Guess who has a
Okay,
better chin? Guess who's
okay.
longer? Pause.
Oh, hey, yo.
I mean, it's just a fact, bro. What he did to Cannonier, come on, bro. Like we were like that was probably one of his, I would say, maybe not
Impressive.
hardest counters in the middleweight division, but Cannonier is a hard hitter. You know, like pretty fast for the middleweight division. Of course, he is
I'm
on
not
the
gonna
older
lie,
end,
he's very
but he
fast.
was just styling on Cannonier. Cannonier did not even know, like he couldn't even spot him, bro. Whitaker is getting slept. Come on,
I think that I
okay.
think I will respectfully say that Michael Venom Page will win by decision. He will not knock out my Bobby Knuckle.
You be careful what you wish for because I feel like we're gonna get that fight. I feel like we're
Yeah.
gonna get that fight. I can't wait.
If we get that fight, we're both putting a big bag on that shit.
And now, okay, now let's move on to the next fight. So now we're moving on to the main card. Actual banger, right? We have our boy Benny
Mm.
Dariush, you know, just coming off of a decision win over Renato Moicano after being in a slump. It was getting a bit rough there for I would say for the
It
Benny
was.
fans. That first round, two first round knockouts in a row. But then when you look at who he lost to, I mean, it's not as bad because he was fighting, you know, Oliveira and he was fighting Arman. Getting slept 2 times in the first round is not that bad. He did just beat
What?
Anthony Joshua. I mean,
Sorry.
it's the Bronx. It's the
Twice at
Bronx.
the same time. I don't
It's the
care if it's
Bronx.
Mike Tyson, nigga. If you're getting knocked out twice
It's
in the
the
first
Bronx,
round.
and it's Armin. It's the Bronx and Armin. Chill on my boy. Chill on my goat. Chill on him.
You guys
Relax.
hear the? Where is the sense? Robert Whitaker's getting knocked down. This guy's getting knocked down in the first round.
Hey.
Darush,
Skill.
Darush,
You know,
man. Oh
it's
my
skill
god.
based matchmaking, bro. Skill based matchmaking. Come on.
Yeah, true, true, true,
Charles
true.
Oliveira, Armin Sarukian are not comparable to, come on, bro.
Paulo Costa. Okay, yeah, you are right. That's a good point. That's a good point. That's you raise a good point, sir.
But yeah, I mean, this fight, I feel like this is a very interesting fight. Definitely going to
Mm.
be a banger. We have Benil Dariush taking on
Oh,
Benoit
sorry, sorry.
Saint Denis. Uh, BSD is just coming off of a rear naked choke win. Very, very impressive win over
Mm.
Mauricio Rufy, who was before that undefeated in the UFC. This is actually very interesting because, like, if you were to use MMA math in this, it would actually be interesting because BSD lost to Moicano, but Darius just beat Moicano. So,
That's
but the
insane.
problem is that, like, it's such an interesting thing because Moicano
Mm.
absolutely dominated, and I mean like absolutely dominated Benoit Saint Denis. But I feel like he did get better after that fight. He did get better
Mm.
after that fight because he's on a 2-fight win streak and he beat Hoofy, who is very good. Like now,
Rufy is very good, bro.
yeah, some people are saying he exposed his grappling, but I don't think his grappling is terrible. I feel like BSD is just like he always has had a crazy chin, extremely hard to
Mm.
finish. I mean, his first fight in the UFC, I feel like we all still remember that fight where it's like he got demolished by Eliseo Zaleski, and he still didn't get knocked out. Like he got demolished in that fight, and he still didn't get finished. So it was his chin has always been crazy. Like the only person who's I would say finished him cleanly is still Dustin. And of course, after that fight,
Yeah,
we said
yeah.
it wasn't norovirus this time, but it was he had scabs, and then but still, it's Dustin. It's Dustin.
Excuses,
It's Dustin.
excuses, excuses.
Yeah, and then he did like his fight against Moicano. Like till now, I feel like it's almost like Moicano hit like a critical, right? Like in gaming when it's
Mm.
like you have a hit because he scored a takedown and then he did so much damage in so
Mm.
little time that we were all like, what just happened?
That insane, right?
Like that Moicano has not done that before, and to BSD who is very very like durable, right? I mean,
Mm.
the fight also didn't get finished, right? It was a
Mm.
doctor stoppage, but
Oh, bro,
but
I hate the doctor stoppage in UFC 5, the video game. Turn
yeah,
that shit
yeah.
off, man. Why? Why?
that's what that's what BSD was saying in the
Annoying.
Mercado fight. It's like, bro, I still want to fight. It's like, nah, bro. Like your eye is hanging out, bro. Like you need
Oh.
like I need to stop this fight right now.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is this is finished.
Maybe give some advice to what's his name? Fucking the heavyweight champion him of the UFC. Mister. Oh, my
Oh.
eyes hurting. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, let's not
Now,
get into
now.
that before John Jones is having the
Joey Joe.
time of his life.
Oh my god.
And then like
Oh my god.
the crazy like how like sometimes it's hard to prove that we're not in a simulation because it's like the next week his teammate who's also talking shit about like oh eye pokes this and that blah blah blah
Yeah,
we
yeah,
never have
yeah.
we never do this and that he pokes someone in the eye, right? The ref stops the fight, he thinks he wins, they restart the fight, gets slept. What? It's like his team just keeps taking crazy else, and I don't know what's happening, but it feels like every single like I don't even know if Tom Aspinall can see like up until now because every time I open Instagram and I see MMA news, it's like Tom Aspinall still can't see still till now.
That's a lie. I think
Do
he
you
could
know if he
see
can
in the
see?
ring, to be honest, in the octagon. I think he was saying clearly. I think he saw that he was about to get whooped, so he came up with an excuse.
Oh my
Now,
god, he
I,
has
I,
he has to sub like in the rematch. He has to like sub. If you remember, we were saying that he has to go in and do like a masterclass because he's been You know,
Yes.
he's been talking mad ish to John Jones this whole time, and John is like, you better go in there and destroy Gan. And this, like, I feel like this was the worst possible outcome for him because
This
if he had
literally.
lost, if he had lost, people might be like, oh, it's a fluke, this one, that one, blah blah blah. He's never been, blah. But it's like he got eye poked, of course, but he was getting like pieced up. He was getting
Like,
pieced up.
like the thing
Like,
is, like,
of course, yeah, significant
I
strikes,
was.
30
The
to
thing is,
27. Yeah.
like from what I saw, I was seeing a masterclass by Serial Gun just coming into effect. But this guy quit. Like the thing is like the IPOC. I've seen worse IPOCs. Have you seen that DC IPOC after the fight? He
Oh
won the
my
fight. This nigga's eye was
god.
one eye was looking south, one eye was looking west. And this is like, yeah, I won the fight, man. It was difficult. But Tom Aspinall, one inconvenience and he's out. You know what I mean? It's like I want to pay big money just to sit down and watch John Jones watch that fight. I wanted to see his reaction. I would pay
Him
millions of
talking
dollars to
all
watch
that
his
ish.
reaction. Yes, and I know every morning he's waking up
I mean,
talking
we
shit to his
know he was
family.
watching
Oh,
that fight because immediately he changed his profile photo on Instagram. Like he didn't even need to say anything. He didn't even
literally.
need to say
Oh my
anything. And
god.
it's like, this is what happened. I mean, talk a big game, you got to cash in the checks. Like this is the thing about fighting is like
Of
you had
course.
to cash in the checks, and you know everyone is undefeated. Everyone is on a roll until, I mean, the undisputed title is just different. It's just different, and like I don't want to say we were sleeping on Gan. I definitely did not sleep on Gan. If you remember, we were saying like
Yes.
this fight might actually be more interesting because Gan
Yes.
is a heavyweight that actually moves very fast. Now, the two
Yeah.
people that have been able to beat him, I've been able to beat him through grappling, right?
Mm.
And there are people that are known to have condition to be able to go 5 rounds. We haven't even
Mm.
seen, like, we've barely seen Aspinall in the second round. And, like, other than John Jones, we haven't seen Gan lose or even, I mean, he's lost to Francis, but it was kind of like a close fight. And,
Yes.
he made some very, very poor decisions that if he didn't make, he could have, won that fight. But
Mm.
the fight against John Jones was like kind of like a one off, right? Like he's been
Yes.
hurt in certain moments, like in the Taito Ivasa fight when he damn near got decapitated, but he got back up and won that fight. Like I don't think we've seen Aspinall ever come back. And that's exactly what John was saying. John was like, "Oh,
Yes.
in one of his first few losses, he was already an adult. He was already a black belt. A guy grabbed his ankle and he tapped immediately, very very quick." And
Mm.
John said,
Mm.
"Meanwhile, when he was caught in the armbar, right?
Yes.
He would have rather let his arm be broken than do that." And he's like, he essentially was trying to say that like, yeah, Tom doesn't have that dog in him, and that
Yeah.
fight just that was the worst possible outcome for Tom because John is gonna be talking about that shit, and he's like, oh, he's a quitter. He did get eye poked, and it is a no contest. I would say the winners for this are us, the fans. First of all, we get to see another fight,
Yes.
and the UFC
Yes.
gets to make way more money because now people are
Oh.
way more interested. Because I feel like
Yes.
most of the casuals were just like, okay, yeah, Tom is gonna win. This is a waste of time. This is a that,
I
right?
did not think that's.
I mean,
I
yeah,
didn't think
like
it.
I
Yeah,
mean,
I didn't think it
I,
was. Gonna,
yeah,
sorry.
definitely. Like we didn't, but most of I would say the casual fans, right?
Yeah.
Like they just
Yeah.
stop. But in a way, it also kind of makes the heavyweight division kind of exciting because if
Mm.
Tom had just like knocked out Gon,
Ugh.
look at the rest of the
Ugh.
division. It's like, who else is he gonna fight? Like, he already
Derek
beat
Lewis.
Volkov. He already knocked out Pavlovich. He already beat Blades. Like that's actually is an interesting fight because Blades beat him, and some people are saying early stoppage, but he technically
Yeah.
did beat Blades. Almeida
Yeah.
is kind of interesting, but he lost to Volkov now, who I believe beat Gon, by the way, but we're not gonna talk about that right now. Actually, Waldo
Yes.
Cortez Acosta is actually very interesting because that guy just knocked out Tom's boy, right?
Mm.
So, but
Mm.
like, yeah, like he just knocked out Tom's boy,
Nah,
and he's on
it's kind of
a
crazy how Tom was like, "Oh yeah, my boy, he's pretty good. If he comes up to weight, if he comes up, I feel like when he didn't say if, he said when he's like is ready for a title shot, I'm gonna give him the title shot. Nigga, your boy just got knocked the fuck out. What you gonna do now? Sorry,
Crazy,
but I
crazy,
had to say that.
crazy, crazy,
What you
crazy.
gonna
I
do
mean, it's
now?
like, yeah. I mean, at least it makes the heavyweight division a bit more exciting now, right?
Mm.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
because the
looking
heavyweight
forward to seeing what
divisions, yeah,
happens. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
and then it gives the rest of the contenders chance to like fight each other, and then maybe somebody
Mm.
rises ahead of all. I mean, I feel like right now Volkov is probably like next in line for a title shot because I feel like he beat Gon in their last fight, and he just
Mm.
beat like Jailton Almeida. So yeah, I think like he should get the next shot, but of course we have to see Aspinall versus Gon first. Now, if Aspinall and Gon do fight, whoever wins makes it very interesting
Yeah.
because I feel like if this last fight happened and Gon beat um
Uh,
beat Aspinall, there might be an
yeah.
argument for there to be like a rematch, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. No, no, no. I think
but
Tom has like actually what's it called? He has earned a rematch. Even now, if they're full and Cyril Gane beat him, I think a rematch will
I feel
still
like
be
it's a bit
appropriate.
more tricky now, though. I feel like
It's a
it's a
bit
bit
more
more tricky
tricky.
to sell that.
It's a bit more
Yeah,
tricky just
because
because
like
of John Jones trolling, but like, I think he still has more like he has. It's the only fight that makes sense if you know what I mean. Like, cause who is fucking Cyril Gunn gonna fight? Like, is he gonna fight Derek Lewis? No, he's gonna beat the shit out of Derek Lewis. And by the way, I can't believe Derek Lewis is number 8 in the world as the UFC heavyweight in the heavyweight division. That's insane to me. Over Type Tuivasa, that's insane.
yeah, it's very very. I mean, you were just talking last time about how is Ty still ranked.
Who? Yeah,
how is
I
Ty
didn't
still
even
ranked?
know. Yeah,
You were saying that.
Yeah, but now that I look at it, like the people above him, some of them, I'm like, he could beat some of these niggas, man.
Yeah,
But not really,
we
not
just need
now.
Ty to train. Yeah, we just need Ty to
Please.
train. But I mean, yeah, I mean, just getting back to the fight, right?
Yeah,
Like this is how almost I would say non like how hard it is to pick Benny versus Darius is that we went on a whole tangent in the heavyweight
yeah.
division because this fight is very very hard to pick. I mean, I think Dariush is okay. So I believe BSD is the favorite, right?
Yeah.
Um, who am I leaning to in this fight?
Oh
I feel
my
like I'll just
god.
go on BSD. Yeah, I feel like I'll just pick BSD with my same
I,
Denise because he's
I'll pick
very hard
Dariush.
to finish. Okay, okay, that's good. That's good.
I'll
Yeah,
pick
he's very, very
Dariush.
hard to finish. Right? He has a good
Yeah.
chin. We've seen Benny get finished in the last two fights, and I feel like this is going to be one of the situations where the MMA gods just laugh because it's like, okay, BSD lost to Moicano. Benil just beat Moicano, but then if both of them
Mm.
fight, the guy that lost to the guy is gonna beat the guy that beat the guy. I feel like it's gonna be one of those funny scenarios of like MMA math never works. So yeah, so that's
Oh.
that, and then we can move on to the next fight, which is a banger: Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates in the welterweight division. Whoo!
This is a banger, bro.
Yeah, an insane banger.
Man. Sometimes Dana White, he likes to feed us, and we've even fed in this division. I mean, this is, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like the momentum from Leon Edwards ever since that loss to who did he lose to again? He lost to what's his name? To Bilal Muhammad. His momentum has sort of just went downhill, to be honest. Like, he lost to Sean Bradley after that. And I just think that someone like Leon Edwards should not be losing to someone like Sean Bradley. Even though Sean Bradley has an incredible record, like 18-1, which is insane. But I don't know if he has the ability to stop the momentum that is happening with Carlos Prates, because Carlos Prates has been going on a tear. Even though he has lost one fight which he lost to. Who did he lose to?
But he did almost knock out Ian. He did
He
almost
lost.
knock out
He
Ian.
did not. He did almost knock out Ian, but you know the cigarettes did take over in the last, in the fifth, in the fifth round. You know, I'm not saying he lost like it was a crazy loss where he got outclassed or anything like that, but I just feel like just in the same situation as the he would have he could have done more. You know, I feel like he could have done more if he just pushed it a little bit more, pushed the pace a little bit more. But I don't know what happened in that ring for him not to be able to push the pace. Was it Ian's actual distance management and being able to keep him away from the strikes? You know, but I feel like just the last, even like not even including that fight, just those last fights, that momentum. I don't think Leon is on the same spectrum. You know, like Leon has to bring out that. Even Leon's win of the title was very impressive, but if we look through the fight from round one to round five,
Yeah, he
he
was
was
getting
being
dominated.
outclassed,
Yeah.
dominated. Like he dominated. It was like almost it's a fluke, you know.
I
But
mean,
I think
and yeah, the Kobe that he beat got knocked out by Buckley. So, like some people are calling fraudulent title shot, but because it's like if you took this guy all 5 rounds and then he gets knocked out by Buckley in the third round, what?
yeah, I,
I
I, I
mean,
I
yeah,
don't think I like for me personally. I think Leon has sort of decreased. Like he is in his prime, but he's I think one more year and he's like now a gatekeeper. He's getting to his gatekeeper years, and it's sad to say, but it's just like I don't think he's beating Carlos Practice because Carlos Practice has something to prove and he wants to get that Ian fight or that title fight to prove himself, you know, because the Nerd Boys
yeah,
have not been doing well as of late, to be
yeah,
honest. They've been
yeah,
losing
yeah.
a lot, you know, so they've
And he called
yeah,
out Leon. He called out Leon
Leon,
too, right? So it's
insane.
like he's been hunting him, and it's like he called him out. He was like, "I want to fight him," you know, like let me do this, like Dana. So it's like,
Yes.
and one thing we know about their team is that they have very good game plans, right? Like they always game plan
Mm,
very well. And Leon, like he's a very safe striker, as you know, right? He's a
mm,
very safe striker, and like he's a very good, how do I put it, nullifier, right, of
mm,
grappling. I don't
mm.
feel like there's gonna be too much grappling in this fight. If there is gonna be any grappling, it's gonna be Leon kind of initiating it, and
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel like
yeah,
that's gonna be a bad thing because he might, walk into like a knee or.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. I like it's hard to knock like Leon. It, what's actually
Tell me.
interesting is Leon is almost too perfect for his own good
Yeah.
because when he does get hit, his chin is not the best. Like he got wobbled by Nate Diaz, right? Remember after beating Nate for like 5 rounds, he got wobbled by Brian Barberena, almost finished by Brian Barberena. So it's like if he does get hit clean, like his chin is not necessarily, you know, the best, but like he has the ability to make a comeback, but
Yeah.
I feel like that Usman fight was a one off, and then it started becoming like a whole
Yeah.
thing of like it definitely was not luck, right? Like people say luck, but it's like he had a moment, he had a moment. He was losing that fight, put it all on the line, got that good
Yeah.
win. But as we see in his fight against what's his name against Brady, that was not a
Mm.
good showing because Brady
Yeah.
just bullied him for 4 rounds straight, just bullied him, submitted him
Then
in the fourth
submitted him.
round. Yeah, I mean, and Carlos also has the momentum. So I feel like in this fight, right? Like Carlos is gonna be landing elbows. He's gonna be throwing up head kicks. He's gonna be throwing that straight right. What's actually interesting is that they're both southpaws. So this is going to be an interesting fight, right? Southpaw
Mm.
versus southpaw matchup. I feel like
Mm.
Carlos definitely has way more power, way more finishing instinct, which I feel also doesn't really help Leon because like he does not have that finishing instinct. Like
He.
he's more favored to like win a decision, and that's not
Mm.
good because winning a decision against Prates is like you have to be careful every single and literally in his only loss in the UFC. he still almost slept the guy in the fifth round.
Literally.
Right? Like after the guy, like he still almost slept the guy. And Leon is known to choke. Like Leon is the dude who is winning the whole fight. And then like if Carlos Prates, and I feel like Carlos has learned his mistake from the Ian fight of like I know he thinks about that like oh I should have just like he I had him dead to rights. I almost finished him. You know, if I had
Mm.
just committed a bit more, I would have won that fight. It would have been a crazy comeback. You know, he probably would be fighting for the title right now. But I feel like he's learned from that. And if Leon gets put in the same situation that he was in the Nate Diaz, right? If he
Mm.
lets Carlos even get a bit of the same, chance he
Momentum.
gave to Nate Diaz, he's getting slept immediately.
Immediately,
He's getting
yes.
slept immediately.
Oh
But
my God,
I
yes.
feel like in this fight, I have Carlos Prates, and I'm gonna
Yeah.
go second round TKO.
Bro, I'm giving Carlos practice first round, bro.
First
I'm
round is
sorry.
great.
I'm
I mean,
sorry.
we were
Bro,
saying that about Magni, but we'll see. We'll see. Like
like
it's not impossible.
Carlos is too sharp, man. I think it's like even Leon is sharp as well, but it's just like Carlos has the reach advantage as well. You know what I mean? And it's just like if you have two people that are sharp, one who's got the reach advantage. Once the distance is established, the guy with the longer reach is gonna land first, bro. Like
Yeah, and he
you know what
has
I mean?
so
Like
much power
it
too.
has got so much power. Like I don't see I see Leon getting Bambi legs in the first round and getting knocked out straight up, bro. Like just like that last fight with Carlos Practice, that came out of nowhere. None of us
Out
expected
of
that.
nowhere.
Out of
Spinning
nowhere.
elbow knocks
Bang.
out Jeff Neal, which is actually wild because Jeff Neal is very, very hard to finish, right? Like even like Shafkat had to take him
Insane.
to the third round, still couldn't finish him. Had to do like the bulldog choke, like I mean, couldn't finish him with strikes. Had to
And
do the bulldog choke to finish him. So yeah,
literally,
I mean,
I know that Jim, they're putting so much pressure on them because of the losses that have copped in the past fights, bro.
yeah. Carlos
So
is
he's
yeah, he's gonna be on smoke in this fight, and yeah, I just see him.
I
I just
pray
see
Leon's
Leon,
been training
trying to
that chin.
establish range, trying to throw up his head kicks, trying to do, and then Carlos just like is like, nope, I'm not having any of that. Knee, knee to the body, knee to the body, elbow, straight right. Oh my God, I feel like it's going to be a masterclass. But one thing I can say is like the only person who can make this fight a boring fight is Leon. Because
Yes.
this fight should be a banger. Like on paper, it
Yes.
should be a banger. And I feel like, I don't know if this sounds wrong, but Ian Gary is almost a better version of Leon. And Carlos
Yeah.
Prates almost beat him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was in a fight where it's like the moment that Carlos actually committed, he hurt Ian. I feel like he
Mm.
kicked himself so much after the fight, like, oh my God, why was I being gun shy the whole fight? Why was I being gun shy the whole fight? I should have just committed earlier and I could have, knocked him out, which I feel is what he did in the Jeff Neal fight. He came out guns blazing. He didn't no establishing range, no anything. It's like I'm trying to knock this guy out immediately, and look what happened. Knocks
Mm.
him out at the
Mm.
buzzer. So yeah, Carlos Prates, second round knockout. You have him first round knockout. What do you think?
Yeah.
Let's go to the next fight.
I don't know why this fight is. I don't know why it's above Leon versus Carlos Practice. It does not
I
make
mean,
sense to me at all.
it's just the ranks. It's just the ranks. Look at it. I believe.
Fair, fair, fair.
Yeah, I believe it's just the ranks. Brady is ranked number two. Leon is ranked number four. Morales is ranked higher than Prates, which is crazy to see. But Morales is undefeated, and that
Yeah.
dude is
18-0.
huge for
Very
the
good,
division.
bro.
He is huge for the division. Oh my God, what he did to Burns is like, oh, like
It's a-
I I am surprised that that was able to be televised. What he did to Burns was actually, you know, I don't know,
Should have been
I don't
illegal.
know what you would call it. He just fucking bulldozed him, right? What he did to Burns, what he did to Magny, like he is huge for this division. Like he hits guys and then they're just like, what? Like nobody has done that to Burns, right? Like Burns went toe to
In
toe
the
with
first round
Hamza,
as well.
you know, like he dropped like Usman. Now, of course, he is kind of like
Jesus.
on the older side, Burns now, but like
Mm.
he gave JDM one of his toughest fights, like in the division so far, who is the champion.
Mm.
But Michael
Mm.
Morales just went in there and just bulldozed him. And now that I'm seeing it, that yeah, like Burns has been fighting killers, man. I kind of feel bad for
He,
Burns. He fought Bilal.
j-
He literally fought the last two champions. If Sean Brady wins the championship, like he literally fought the last two champions. You
they
know,
have not given him
fought
an easy fight
Bilal,
at all.
fought JDM, fought Brady, fought Morales. Like now he's like yeah, Burns has yeah, he's not been he's
It's
not been
not been
having the
easy
best
for
go.
him.
And if you look even before that, fought Hamza, like he's fought killers in this division. Like that's one thing that you cannot take away from Burns is that he always fights, killers. But yeah, let's get back to it. Michael Morales currently undefeated on an
Jesus.
overall 18 fight win streak. Just knocked out Gilbert Burns, knocked out New Magny right before that. Decisions Jake Matthews, decisioned Max Griffin, knocked out Adam Fugit, knocked out Trevin Giles, Nikolay Veretenikov, decisioned him, knocked out Miguel. So it's like he is
Jesus.
a problem in this division, right? 13 KO wins, one submission win, four decision wins. The guy is just a wrecking ball. But I feel
He's
like
been
Brady
knocking
is
out a
also a
lot of
problem.
these
I
people.
mean,
Okay, now I see why he's above these guys. Okay, okay, it's making sense
yeah,
now.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's
yeah,
making
yeah, yeah. The
sense
hype
now.
is real, and it's like Brady is also very good because he just submitted Leon Edwards, right?
Mm,
Right before
mm.
that, he beat Burns
Yep, yep, yep,
you know
yep, yep,
in
yep,
a
yep.
fight where he kind of just like took like he just seemed so physical in that fight. Like he
Damn.
was just he's also a welterweight that's pretty huge. So this fight is actually going to be interesting because I would be curious to see if
Wait,
Burns if
wait.
Brady can get him
But he
down.
lost to Bilal Muhammad by TKO. Are you
Hey, hey,
serious?
hey, Canelo hands, Canelo hands. Chill on my boy, Canelo hands, Canelo
Come
hands,
on. This nigga getting knocked
Canelo
out.
hands,
Come on.
Canelo hands. Hey, that was Canelo hands. Bilal, relax. Chill on my boy.
Yeah. No, I'm
That was
sorry, but
Canelo hands.
being knocked
Bilal.
out by Bilal, you should just retire.
Hey. Also, by the way, he never got knocked down. It was a standing TKO. Okay, just just to clarify, it was a standing TKO. he never got it. He never actually got knocked down. But yeah, it is
Uh,
kind of wild. Getting knocked out by Wallah
that's insane.
is actually crazy. Like it's actually pretty crazy, honestly. But still, hey, I would be excited. I would be very interested to see if Brady can get Morales down because Morales is huge for this division, right? He's a big boy. Brady is
Pause.
also very pause. Brady is also very physical for this division, right? Um, let's take a look at the
This
dimensions.
man
So
said he's a
uh,
big boy. That's
Brady is
crazy.
5'10" with a 72.5 inch reach. Michael Morales is wow 6 foot tall with a 79 inch reach.
Jesus.
That is crazy. 79 inch reach in the welterweight division. Yeah. This
This
is not
has to
looking
be
too good for
illegal.
Brady. This is not looking too good for Brady. But
So,
why do I feel like I I believe in Brady, right? He's very very good. But yeah, it's very
I'm
hard.
sorry, but this is not an easy. This is the easy decision for me. If fucking Bilal Muhammad can piece you up so much that the referee's like, "Damn, you've had too much." You think you're gonna win against Michael Morales, who's been knocking niggas out? Are you serious?
Okay, you can pick Morales. I'll pick Brady.
I'm picking Morales, man.
I'll
By
pick Brady. I'll
decapitation
pick
in the stick.
I'll
In the
pick Brady by decision.
That's crazy.
I mean, yeah. Let me have some hope in the boy. He ran into Canelo hands Belal. You can't blame him for that. We
Canelo
cannot blame
hands.
him for that.
Let's not
He ran
disrespect
into
Canelo like that, man.
Canelo hands Belal. Yeah. Belal put those same hands on Leon. He put those same hands on Leon.
Yeah, but he didn't
Chill on my
TKO Leon.
chill on my chill on my boy.
Come on.
Yeah, getting TKO'd by Belal is really like, bro, that is like.
That's
But
diabolical
hey,
work.
I believe in him. But Are we ready to move on to the next fight?
Yes. Oof, I'm excited.
Banger, Valentina Shevchenko. This possibly could be the highest like in terms of skill, the highest
Mm.
ranked women's MMA fight of all time.
Yes.
I feel like it
Oh,
probably
what
is
about
because
Nunes versus Valentina Shevchenko? That's up there.
that's actually true. But I feel like Nunes, like a lot of her like the skills also come from her physical attributes,
Yeah.
whereas like,
Yeah.
Yang
True.
Weili is
True. True.
extremely like I
True.
would say skill because also like Weili is coming from a lower weight class, and then
Mm.
lower like fighters from lower weight classes are usually more skilled than the
Mm.
from the
Mm.
higher weight class
Mm.
fighters.
Mm.
But I would say Nunes versus Shevchenko is a very close second for most skilled women's MMA fight of all time. But this one, I feel
Mm.
like probably it is because we got
You not picking
Shevchenko.
Holly Holmes versus Ronda Rousey? Not joking.
Please no, because I mean we just have a Shevchenko who just got her belt back. Submitted Grasso. Um, lost by submission to Grasso.
Mm.
Beat Grasso in a split decision. I mean, sorry, had a draw against her in a split decision. Then beat her in the next fight by unanimous decision. And then
Mm.
just beat Manon Fiorot, who's actually one of the better strikers in this division. Like, showed her
Mm.
grappling in that fight. Like, showed
Mm.
that, like, okay, I'm not, like, I'm still here, even though she's 37 years old, which is crazy. Is that after the age of
Mm.
35, she's beating these, younger girls. Like, now, I will say her toughest fight recently has been Grasso because Grasso is actually very, very good.
Yeah.
She's not been having the best luck, like, recently because I believe after that fight, she went on to fight Natalia Silva and lost. And in that
Mm.
fight, Silva is just a very, very good striker, right? But
Mm.
like, still, she's a very good fighter, and
Mm.
I don't want to take that away from her because it leads us into Valentina, you know, and the win streak that she's currently on. Going into this fight with Weili, how is she gonna do? Because this is kind of hard to pick
It
because we have a
is.
Valentina who's 37 years old,
Mm.
in our second title reign, she just beat like two of the top contenders in her division, but now she's
Mm-hmm.
fighting Weili Zhang, who is like at the height of her powers, like Weili is 36 years old right now, so like she has the advantage in terms of age, right? She's on a very,
I
she's
think.
on,
I
I
think.
believe, a
I
six
personally
fight
think
win
that.
streak right now,
Yeah. Yeah. I think
or I believe
Weili.
5 fight win streak.
Mm,
Yeah.
I think Weili might have also one thing that people don't realize is the strength, the sheer strength of Weili. She's just got that gritty strength, and I don't know if Valentina has as much strength as Zhang Weili. You know what I mean? And also the speed is on Zhang Weili's side as well. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I
You know,
mean, yeah.
I just like for me it's hard for me because like I think Valentina Shevchenko in the like when she was younger, that speed and how she would set up things like it's not that she doesn't have the skills to beat Zhang Weili. It's more like is she gonna be able to implement it during the fight? Because it's like if you throw a right hand, you know you want to slip to the left, but the thing is like is the body gonna be able to respond as quickly as it used to be? You know, because she's
Mm.
37 years old. That's damn near 40 to be honest. Whereas Zhang Weili is also close to 40, but the thing is like the advantages are on her side. So I think that like even with the momentum from Valentino, the way it's been going, it's like she hasn't been winning as convincingly as she used to be. He hasn't been master classes that she's used to do back in 2020, in 2021, in 2022. He just went after that loss from Grasso. It just took something from her where she has now had to implement wrestling into the thing and then into the actual game and all that stuff. Not that she never did wrestling, but she was more purely a striker, and also she hasn't been as active as she used to be. She used to fight 3 times a year, but now she's fighting once a year and stuff. And so it's like the age is showing in the ring in I keep saying ring in the octagon for her. So
Hmm.
I just think that the advantages are too much on Zhong Li's side. But the thing is, Zhong Li sometimes has moments where she flops. You know, she just
Yeah.
has these moments where she just goes down and just loses to like Rose
I mean,
Nunez and all
I
that
do not
stuff.
like the fact that she lost to Rose by head kick, and one of
Yes.
Valentina's um, most like highlight reeled moments is her head kicking Jessica I. Now, I'm not saying lightning is gonna strike twice, but MMA has been moving very, very funny this year. You
It
know, with
has.
Carlos Prates and also the dude who knocked out with Carlos Prates and also um, Leron Murphy having
Yeah.
spinning elbow KOs back to back. Like I'm just seeing a world where, like, of course, I'm gonna pick Weili to win. You all know this. I'm picking
Yeah.
Weili to win. You
Yeah.
guys all know
Yeah.
this, but
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine a world where Shevchenko just head kicks Weili the same way that the same exact way.
Oh no, Weili. The thing is, I think Shevchenko is gonna like. I don't even know what Shevchenko's gonna do because I was gonna say she's gonna do the wrestling thing, but I don't. I don't know if she's gonna be able to take Zhang Weili down. To be
Yeah,
honest, because Zhang Weili is a
Weili just
stocky
beat
girl,
Tatiana
man.
Suarez.
Yeah.
Like just like who is arguably one of the best women's wrestlers of all time.
Yeah, this is gonna because if for me if Shevchenko
Yeah,
beats
like
Weili in a
literally
convincing way,
had
I'm
not
gonna
lost
be
before that. Like had not lost before that. Her only loss still is to Weili.
insane.
Yeah,
Nah, so I'm gonna pick Zhang Weili
yeah.
to win
But
by
it's gonna be a
decision. I don't
hard
think
fight.
she's. It's gonna be a hard fight because I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised if Valentina wins, but it's more like I have to see how much she deals with the strength of Wei Li. Because the thing
yeah,
is, I think she's gonna like Valentina. I think she has this thing where she can underestimate people, and if she underestimates the strength because she's coming from a lower division, I think she's gonna be surprised, and that's during that surprise, Jean Wally is gonna be just beating the shit out of her. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
think
I
is gonna
mean,
happen.
yeah, yeah. Like this is definitely a very interesting fight. Like both of them, like we have a champion who's coming towards the end of her reign. You know, she lost the belt, won it back, just beat one of the best strikers in the division, Valentina Shevchenko. I mean, right now
Mm.
she's fighting somebody who's coming from a lower weight class, very powerful, kind of very well rounded as well. Like I think this is the reason why I also say this is the highest, skilled women's MMA fight of all time. Is both of them are good everywhere, right? Like they both have
Mm.
amazing jiu-jitsu. They both have very good striking. They both have very good wrestling. But now I feel like the intangibles might be what decides it. Is Shevchenko is at the end of her reign. Like she doesn't have anything else to prove. Honestly, she has
Mm.
nothing left to prove. Meanwhile, Weili, of course, she's cleared out straw weight, but now she's growing up. She has that hunger. She's like, I want to be a double champion. Um, and yeah, she just has way more, and she just beat, I would say, the hardest fight in her division right before moving up. Like she
Mm.
cleared out her division right before moving up. Like she beat pretty
Mm.
much everyone at strawweight, and now she's gonna move up. So yeah, I just have to pick Weili. I would pick her by a decision, right?
Mm.
Once again, if lightning strikes and Valentina Shevchenko head kicks her, I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens. And do you want us to move on to the main event of the evening?
Yes, we shall.
Yeah.
I'm
So
excited.
the stats for this fight are actually crazy because I believe both of them are on a combined, is it 35 fight winning streak? Both of them
Yeah, it's
combined,
something like that. Yeah,
right?
cause
Like because
yeah.
like yeah, Jack is undefeated in I believe 18 fights. Islam is undefeated in I believe is it 15 fights.
Yeah,
So
and
like
Jack, I just want to say, Jack only lost his first two fights, and ever
yeah,
since then, he's vowed never to lose again.
that's actually so combined 33, which is actually very like
Yes.
there's kind of like a like very very interesting, like it's kind of like very impressive to like lose your,
Mm.
because most people would lose the first time and be like, okay, this is not for me. and he lost
Yes.
his first two fights by finish. The first one was by
Literally.
punches, got knocked out, third round.
Yeah.
Second one was by rear naked choke, and then after that, like he's just been knocking people out. Like he has 12 KO wins, two sub wins, and four decision wins. Like he's actually
Jeez.
very impressive. Undefeated in the UFC, you know, like crazy win streak. I mean, he's
Insane.
actually one of the most impressive, I would say, um, like champions,
Champions.
which is kind of strange because people kind of like underlook him and everything. Like even going
He
into the
came out
Bilal
of nowhere,
fight,
to be honest. Because most people would say,
yeah,
"Oh, the Bilal fight, Bilal's gonna beat him easy. You know, he's gonna just move on." But he outclassed Bilal. You know, he like the thing is like I hate how people say, "Oh, Bilal was trying to prove that he can strike with him." But the thing is like Bilal was trying to take him down at moments, but he couldn't.
yeah,
Jack was stuffing his takedowns every time. Like his
yeah,
game plan was perfect. He was keeping the distance so Bilal doesn't shoot. He wasn't overthrowing punches. He was just, as his coach would say, paying the cunt.
yeah. I mean, it's very interesting actually because it's like some. I've seen some stats that say that Bilal shot the same number of takedowns that he shoots that he averages in all his fights.
Hmm.
So it wasn't necessarily that he didn't shoot as much. It's like Jack did stop a lot of his takedowns. You know, like Jack actually did stop a lot of his takedowns, and
Hmm.
that's very interesting because Bilal. I mean, Islam is definitely a better grappler than Bilal, right? But the size is the difference. Now I have been seeing the new photos of Islam, and he
Yeah,
looks
there's not much of
huge.
us.
He
Have you seen
looks.
the
He
one of
looks. He
them
looks.
together,
Uh,
like
the one
face
of.
off?
Oh, I have not seen that. How's the size looking?
They look damn near the same size, bro.
I mean, that's good for
It's
Islam because
insane.
that's one of the worries of him coming up is that because I feel like if you're going to be fighting JDM, it's already a tough fight if you're in the
Yeah,
same weight class as him. But if you're smaller than him, oh, you're about to have a terrible night. You're about to have a
literally.
terrible night because those punches are going to hit. Like Bilal is one of the
God,
most durable welterweights, and JDM was hurting him, right?
beating him.
Like JDM was hurting him bad, right? Like
Mm.
JDM knocked out Burns, like J- yeah,
It was
like
by knee,
JDM
right?
actually, yeah, by knee, and he had a broken arm already in that. Like he had a broken arm already in that. You know, like he knocked out Burns, um, submitted Randy Brown, but dropped him very bad. Danny Roberts knocked him out. Ramazan Ameev, liver punch. Pete Rodriguez, counting him with the left, also knocked him out as well, right? Like he, I feel like just because of the fact that maybe he didn't fight the biggest names, or he's not the biggest speaker on the mic, which goes back to what I was saying in the beginning of these fighters who they're extremely skilled, right? They start their careers, they're
Yes.
undefeated, they go on for a long time, and it's not until they have like a big fight, right, that they
Mm.
kind of explode in popularity, right? Like he's unfortunately in a division where the stars have kind of died off, right? Like we don't really have like Usman. He didn't get to fight Usman. He didn't get to fight Kobe. Burns is not really that big of a star. Like this division at this point is kind of at a loss for stars. So
Mm.
that's
I
his
mean,
problem.
Usman is still there. Usman is
Yeah, but
always one fight away from a title, to be honest.
yeah,
I
yeah, but
think,
he never
yeah,
got to fight Usman. So like
yeah,
he's not gotten that high profile. But if he
yeah.
does beat Islam, he's about to skyrocket in popularity.
Oh
Right?
my
Like
God.
if he beats Islam, he's about to go crazy in terms of popularity. So I guess that's one thing to look at is that actually if he wins the Islam fight, it's going to be so much better for him because I don't know if there's anybody else at welterweight that he could fight that would do like better for his career. Like
Yeah,
right now, like they're
yeah.
all just very dangerous fights, and none of them have a name as big as Islam, except maybe Kamaru Usman. And I would
Mm.
argue that Kamaru Usman is a harder fight than Islam for him. So it's almost like Islam is very skilled, right? And his grappling does pose a problem, but
Yeah,
I feel like it's like JDM really has not much. Like, I don't think he has much to lose in this. And usually, the guy who doesn't have anything to lose ends up winning,
winning.
right? Like he
Yeah,
already is the champ, right? Like people never really expected him to be champ. I feel like
yeah,
even now people are underlooking him because
yeah.
let's look at the betting odds right now. Yeah, of course. He's the underdog. He's the underdog, right? And someone else is coming up to fight him. An undefeated 18 fight win streak. I mean, granted, Islam is also on a 15 fight win streak, but he's coming up. That is crazy. And he's the underdog. So I really do feel like he has like nothing to lose in this fight because
Mm.
like if he goes in there and has a crazy war with Islam, right? Like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, it's Islam, you know, he's good anyway." Blah blah blah. If he goes in there and like, unless he gets like subbed in the first minute,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that's when it's gonna be a problem. Like
Look.
unless he gets subbed in like the first minute, that's when it's gonna be like, "Oh, okay, well." But if he gets subbed in the first minute, it kind of like
We
I
expect
feel like
it.
it's not going to be, oh,
Yeah.
how bad is JDM? It's gonna be how great is Islam.
Look, I think that there's a possibility that Islam might have bitten more than he can chew with this one, to be honest. Because if someone like Alexander the Great moves up a weight division and gives you a tough time in not even the striking department but the wrestling department, I feel like someone with bigger who was a bigger size
Yeah,
and
he's bigger,
and
bulk, better
bigger
striker
better
potentially,
striker. It's
hits
like
harder.
like for me, I don't see Islam winning this fight in an easy
Better
manner at
might be better
all.
anti grappler also.
Literally. So the thing is, it's like for me, I think that Islam also has the problem of underestimating people every time he goes into the ring, because he's been out here beating people easily, knocking people out, submitting people and stuff. But the thing is like Jack is not the person to underestimate, because every
Yes.
time every person underestimates him, the person gets knocked out. You know what I mean? So it's just like Islam with this fight, he has to have great respect for this guy. But the thing is, it's just like even an ounce of disrespect to his actual attributes that he's had in this UFC run he's had, I think would make him lose his fight easier than he thinks. And also that chin with Islam, we know he can get knocked out. And Jack is a
Yeah.
special is that's
Yeah.
his
He got
speciality.
dropped
He
by
knows that.
Volk.
He got dropped
Yeah,
by
he got dropped
Volk,
by Volk.
and Volk
That's
doesn't isn't
in the
known
fifth
for his
round.
power.
Yeah.
Yes, isn't known for his
And
power.
and JDM doesn't gas out.
He doesn't. So the thing is, for me, it's like for casual fans, they're like, "Oh, Islam's gonna win this easily." But for me, it's actually damn near as hard of a pick as Zhang Weili versus Valentina Shevchenko, to be honest, because of how much Jack has proven me wrong in his fights. Because I did not think he was gonna beat the Mexican boxer. What's his name again?
Belal,
Bilal Muhammad.
Belal Canelo, Belal
Bilal,
Alvarez.
Bilal Alvarez, but he outclassed him, and Bilal's wrestling is brilliant. The best, one of some of the best wrestling in the UFC. So I don't like. The thing is also like Islam's last few fights with Dustin Poirier have not been those Khabib like domination. I take you down and I just pin you down. Like I don't think he has that Khabib pressure that we all think he has. Just I think like because of the names that surround Islam, the name of Khabib, we expect him to be as good as Khabib. But I don't think he's as good as Khabib. I don't think he has the strength of Khabib. I don't think his wrestling is as you know his wrestling is a completely different style from Khabib. He's a bit more free and a bit more of a grappler. If you know what I mean, like Khabib is on you, like he's holding you down, putting the
Yeah.
pressure on you,
And
making you
Islam is also
tired.
falling in love with his striking.
Yes,
That's not
and
good to go into a fight
exactly,
with
it's
JDM.
not good. Like Islam probably wants to knock out JDM because that's a more impressive and more fulfilling win for him.
If
You know what I
Islam
mean?
knocks out JDM, he's like he
Oh,
might
it's
be the greatest fighter of all time. If he goes in there and sleeps JDM,
but
what?
he might be, but the thing is, he has to face the animal
Ilya
that he
Topuria.
just Ilya Taporia. If he beats Ilya Taporia, then he will be the greatest of my eyes. But the thing is like I
Yeah.
just don't see it being an easy
I'm
fight
still
for him.
pissed
Because
that we didn't
yeah,
get that fight. Like I really am
yeah,
still so pissed. But I feel like this is very interesting because like it's a for JDM, he has nothing to lose. Islam has everything to lose because Like not only because at least Volk when he went up, right, he still held the featherweight belt,
Mm.
right? I feel like now Dana and Hunter are like, yeah, if you're moving up, you're dropping that belt. There's no more
Yeah.
like we're not holding up divisions anymore. This or that, which is bad for us now because it's like
Yeah.
Topuria, like big dick, big dick Matador. He was like, fuck, it, I'll leave the belt. You can have it back, Volk. I'm gonna go up there. Went up, slept. Charles Oliveira, he stood on business, but it's like with Islam, it's like, bro, like literally he's in between a rock and a hard place because it's like you have to fight JDM and beat him. If you lose to him, you have to go back and fight Ilya Taporia. It's like I know he's Islam Makhachev and he's
Yes.
extremely like amazing, but the
Mm.
problem is that like he's like like he's in an impossible situation right now. If JDM loses, I feel like everyone's just gonna be like, oh, Islam is very great. He's an amazing fighter. He's the greatest of all time. Blah blah blah. Like Jack at least got to be champion. This and that. Blah blah
Mm.
blah. But if Islam loses to JDM, it's like,
Oh.
oh, because I don't think he's gonna stay at welterweight.
Yeah, I
Like I
don't
don't
think he's gonna
think
stay at
if he
welterweight.
loses, like if he loses, and like what happened? Okay, let's run through a couple simulations, right?
Mm.
Let's say Islam wins, right? If he wins against JDM, most likely he's gonna fight the winner of Sean Brady and Michael Morales. Oh, like he's looking big, but I'm not sure how
I don't
much
think he's
bigger
looking
he
that
is
big, to be honest.
than both of these guys, especially if Michael Morales wins. My fighting Michael Morales, like I'm just like he does not have good matchups in this division, right? Shafkat, Islam is not beating Shafkat, right? He's probably gonna beat Leon Edwards. He's not beating Kamaru Usman. Like people don't like Gary, but Gary is he's piecing Islam up. Buckley is actually interesting because I feel like because Buckley's not gonna gas out, right? Like maybe Islam might, but he's so physical and he used to fight at middleweight that I feel like he's gonna give Islam problems. Michael Morales, yeah, Islam is not beating him. Carlos Prates, yeah, Carlos might knock
No
him out.
way. Carlos Parker's
Like
just knocking him
the
out.
rest of
Go.
everybody under, I feel like Bonfim, Kobe, Burns, Islam might beat them, but this is a very hard division. So, like
It's
honestly, it's I'm going to be very very impressed if Islam is actually able to like he might, if he comes in, beats JDM, beats whoever is next, and beats whoever is after that, he might be the greatest fighter of all time.
I,
But let's run through the other simulation.
oh.
If Islam Makhachev loses, right, he has to go back. He has to go back to
No.
155. I'm telling you, bro, if JDM knocks out Islam, he's going to get knocked out by Ilia Topuria. Like it's 100% a
It's
guarantee.
over.
If he gets
It's over.
knocked out by JDM and he goes back down, he's going to get knocked out by Ilia Topuria.
It's over, bro.
But like actually this is like kind of daring to be great and it actually makes me respect Islam more because like he's
No,
not holding on to the belt
absolutely.
at lightweight. He's not holding on to the belt at lightweight. It's like all in, all in. So he has to win this fight. Like the pressure is on him. And I feel like
Absolutely.
usually in situations like this where the guy has nothing to lose, like similar to Strickland versus Izzy, when it's like
Mm.
like of course now it's switched. It's like the guy who has nothing to lose is the champion. And remember what they say, like the champion gets 30% better when they become a champion. Like
Mm.
I just have a sneaky
Well,
feeling that
below is a
JDM
case
is
that we
gonna.
can talk about next time. I think.
I just have a sneaky feeling that JDM is going to put on a show, because he's not gonna gas out, right? Like his grappling is damn near his anti grappling is damn near better than Volk.
It's
Like
insane.
he didn't get submitted by Burns. Like
And
that's one of the best tests that I think you could pass in terms
no,
of
like
grappling.
no, bro, like it's like when someone's trying to submit you, like I feel like you struggle to have the time to even think about setting up a counter knee or a
Yeah.
counter punch. The
He
fact that he
landed the
was able
perfect counter knee
to land the
with a broken
perfect
arm,
counter,
by the way.
that's insane.
With a
I,
broken arm.
I'm gonna pick JDM to win this fight. To be honest, by
Yeah, I'm
decision.
picking JDM, but I'm
Yeah,
picking decision. Oh, decision as well. Yeah,
decision,
because finishing
decision.
Islam is hard. I would not be
Yeah,
surprised if he knocks him out in the third round, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
But I feel like Islam is also gonna look better because
Yeah,
like now he doesn't have the crazy weight cut because
yeah, 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 yeah.
like I think the weight cut has added to part of his problems at
I
lightweight.
did see on Bedded that he was saying that the weight gain was hard as well. Like he was struggling to eat and gain the weight because of how much he's
Mhm,
training. So I think
mhm.
overtraining might be a factor as well in this because he is overtraining. But the thing is, I just don't see him being as strong as Jack, to be honest.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, if Jack was like just a striker that, is good at striking, but when he gets taken down, he gets held. But that's not Jack. Jack,
No,
when you take him down, you're in trouble if you don't like look at Bilal. Bilal was trying like he was countering him at every opportunity, right? Like
literally.
look at Burns. Burns got knocked down off of attempting got knocked out off of attempting a takedown attempt. So it's like you have to be careful with him. You have to
Mm,
be very, very careful with him. And
mm.
Jack is training with Volk, who did very, very good against Islam. Like
And
potentially
Volk wants
Islam's
that get
hardest.
back.
Yeah. And literally Jack said it after he beat Bilal. He's like, I'm gonna get that one back for Volk. So I feel like we're having the Alex Pereira, Jamal Hill storyline of like you beat my man, you beat my sensei. I'm getting it back in blood. So yeah, you heard it here first. JDM uh, decision. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you so much for
Yes,
listening
sir.
to us. This is the Statify MMA podcast. Goodbye.
Please like, subscribe.